Hi everyone, Mrs. Hayward here. Thought I would do a video for you today for saved and sound questions that you potentially could get. So this could be design sound for a 10 marker or design sound for a 30 marker, which to be honest, I think would be really harsh, but you never know. So there's two different types of sound when we talk about sound. There's live sound, which is obviously what it says on the tin. So you've got maybe a band on stage or off stage. You've got maybe an ensemble making some noises, things like that. And then you've got pre-recorded sounds. So you might have some noise from the TV. You might have noise from the jukebox, various things like that. So remember, once again, this is kitchen sink realism. So unless you are designing the sound to be symbolic, to convey particular themes, your sounds have to be naturalistic. So in terms of that, thinking about the setting, so it's 1965, so you might want to have some music on, maybe on the radio, and you might want to think about where that particular music is coming from. So maybe there's a little speaker in the radio, just so we can really, the audience can pinpoint exactly where the sound is coming from. Maybe you've got the static of a TV. Maybe you've got a jukebox in the cafe, for example. Maybe you've got the splish splashing of the lake. Maybe you've got the cries of the baby, of course, and where that's coming from. Maybe you've got the sound sort of coming from above the audience of footsteps, sort of to give the cramped atmosphere of what it must be like in Harry and Mary's house. So when we're thinking as well, we've got diegetic and non-diegetic sounds. So if you're doing naturalistic sounds, you're not really going to have anything that's non-diegetic. So non-diegetic is when the characters can't hear it. So it's used for atmosphere. So for example, you might have a heartbeat, you might have a what else might you have? You might have the sound of like a low ominous bass playing in order to sort of give like a nasty atmosphere. But diegetic sounds are sounds that the actors can hear, the characters can hear. It's like a doorbell or the music or a baby crying. But even though you might be doing kitchen sink realism, that doesn't mean you can't be creative in order to use sound to show meaning. So you could have, for example, your baby noises starting off from one speaker on stage, and then you might have it slowly work its way across the audience. So maybe you've got speakers placed behind the audience if you're in the round, if you're on a cross arch, and the sound then starts coming from there as well, really enveloping the audience and giving them a sense of claustrophobia and also just how much neglect this baby is going through. Likewise as well, you might want to have some sounds of maybe the static television on the television. Maybe it starts off, you know, listening to some 1960s TV show, but then it starts to get crackly when sort of Pam comes in looking for her Radio Times, just to show the tension that's within the house. As I said earlier, the idea of the footsteps is quite a good one as well. So really being creative when it comes to our sound ideas, showing how sound can be used to unlock the text and show meaning. So really be clear, use as well volume. So thinking about, it doesn't really matter if you do 1 to 10 or 100%, or for those of you that get the reference, turn it up to 11. As long as I can know how loud or quiet you want something, then you're absolutely fine. So do use those technical terminologies in terms of diegetic, non-diegetic, speaker placements. And then you've got echoes, you've got reverbs. So thinking about mics as well. So for example, on one person's mic, so Pete's, for example, in the gang, you might want to have his mic have a slight reverb on it to show the power that he has, the status. Okay, so I hope that's helped you with your sound questions. Good luck.